Today's topic is marketing myopia. We first of all we have some basic knowledge about marketing myopia, what exactly this is, and who have explained this marketing myopia. First of all, the scientific name is Theodore Levitt. He has explained about the marketing myopia, what exactly it is. So basically, the marketing myopia is a term used in the marketing as well as the title of an important marketing paper written by Theodore Levitt. He was this marketing paper was written by Theodore Levitt. He is the scientist, and this paper was first published in the Harvard Business Review. The paper name was Harvard Business Review, a journal of which he was an editor. So basically, the marketing myopia suggests that business will do better in the end if they concentrate on meeting customers' needs rather than on selling the product. So basically, what is the definition of marketing myopia? Why the scientist has written this book? According to Mr. Levitt, every business can be grown only on one condition: if the management of the company, all the marketing peoples, they'll have to think on that instead of selling only the product, he'll have to concentrate on the meeting with the clients, meeting with the customers, and then he'll have to make a rapport building with the client and try to know about the needs and demands of the customer. What exactly the customer wants, what are the basic requirement of that customer. We can find out that things if we talk to the customer properly, okay, and make a rapport, and then try to know about the customer needs. But most of the time, what the marketing consultants are doing, they just go to any organization and they just start selling the product. He said, this is our company product and these are the benefits. You please purchase this product and or take these services. So this is a very bad manner. By these manner, we cannot grow our organization. So this scientists, they think that through the marketing myopia, the scientist has suggested that to the organizations that business will do better in the end if they concentrate on meeting customers instead of selling the product. So this is the main thought of this scientist. And to continuous growing companies must ascertain and act on their customers' needs and desire, not bank on the consumption longevity of their products. In every case, the reason growth is threatened, slowed and stopped is not because the market is saturated. It is just because they have a failure in management. In lack of proper management, they are facing this kind of problems. So every major industry was once a growth industry, but some that are now riding a wave of growth enthusiasm are very much in the shadow of decline. Every major industry was once a growth industry, but some that are now riding a wave of growth enthusiasm are very much in the shadow of decline. Other which are thought of as seasoned growth industries have stopped growing. In every case, the reason growth is threatened, slowed or stopped is not because the market is saturated, it is because that there has been a failure in management. So what exactly the fateful purpose is? The failure is at the top, the executives responsible for it. In the last analysis are those who deal with broad aims and policies. Actually, everybody knows that every business depend upon the all the executives are image of the company. If we have we keep 2 or 3 employees to marketing executive in our company, and they are going to the market, they are just representing your company only. In behalf of him, they are just representing your company. That means the person is image of your company. Whatever he will say, he will explain in the market, that will be only the image of your company. So if the marketing people will go to the market and they just, they start selling the product. They are not, they don't bother about what the customer needs, what they desire, what they want, what is the basic requirement of that customer, and they just start selling the product. So this will create a negative effect on the client and customer's mind. They definitely know that this company has only focused on the selling of the product. Suppose we are going to we are in the market and we are making the cosmetic products, and suddenly in front of me one person, person is age is approx 60 plus, and they just walking through that way. So I will just stop that person and just saying, sir, this is our company's launched this product. This is a cosmetic product. This is very beautiful product. You please purchase this product. Then what is the meaning? The person, whoever you are offering your product is related to the this is a cosmetic product, and you are offering this product to the person who have already whose age is 60 plus. So this is the bad thing, you don't know about the need of that customer and you just offer that product to him. So what the person will think? Okay, this is a very illiterate person. Why they are offering this product to me? I do not need this product. So this is the main basic thing about. So these kind of cases we can explain the marketing myopia. Okay. So we will have to offer the product according to the customer requirement, according to the customer needs, according to the customer taste, according to the customer thoughts. And to know about the customer, you will have to talk to the customer first, trying to know about the needs, and then offer the product. Then this is the proper way, this is a very good way to sell any product. You should not jump in the market and just selling the product. This is a bad manner. So basically marketing myopia is explaining these things only. So the railroads did not stop growing because the needs for passenger and freight transportation declined. That grew. The railroads are in trouble today not because the needs was filled by other car, truck, aeroplanes, even telephones, but because it was not filled by the railroads themselves. What do you understand by this example? Here we discuss about the railroad services. Indian Railway. Okay, we are taking the example of Indian Railway. The railroad did not stop growing. Every business can be grow, can be decline, but if we will keep the example of railroad services, they never decline, they always growing. Okay, because the needs of passenger in freight transportation decline. Why? Because it is a very affordable traveling. Everybody can afford, except the very poor level person. Middle class family can afford these services, and they are love to travel with train only, because they do not most of the time they do not afford the traveling through aeroplanes. Okay, so this is a very convenient way to travel and this is the basic need and requirement of a passenger. That's why the railroad services never decline, they always grow up. So if the railroad is troubled today, if some trouble be with the railroad, not because the need was filled by other, if sometime the railroad services will be in trouble, then we cannot think the needs, this basic needs is fulfilled by another company or another services, like through the car, through the truck, through the aeroplane, even through the train. This means not this, but because it was not filled by the railroad themselves. This is the meaning that these services are not, because the train is stopped, that's why passengers are not able to travel in that train, just because of railroad fault. So this is a basic example. They let others take customer away from them because they assume themselves to be in a railroad business rather than in the transportation business. The reasons they defined their industry wrong was because they were railroad oriented instead of transportation oriented. They were product oriented instead of customer oriented. Now the second example, the Hollywood bells kept being totally revised by television. Actually, all the established film companies went through drastic reorganizations. Some simply disappeared. All of them got into trouble, not because of TVs in roads, but because of their own myopia. As with the railroad, Hollywood defined its business incorrectly. It thought it was in the movies business when it was actually in the entertainment business. Today, TV is a bigger business than the old narrow decline movies business ever was. Had Hollywood been customer oriented, providing entertainment, or rather than product oriented, making movies, would it have gone through the fiscal purgatory that it did? I doubt it. But ultimately saved Hollywood and accounting for its recent resurgence and wave of the new young writers, producers and directors whose previous success in television had declimated the old movies companies and big movies.